I made this explainer video with a single prompt using Claude and Higgsfield. AI can turn any photo into a 3D model in seconds. Then you print it and it falls apart. The problem isn't the shape. That part's perfect. It's what's hiding inside. Now, in the past, that would have taken a whole team to make, and hours of work in programs like After Effects. But now, that has all changed. With just a single prompt and a few clicks of the mouse, Claude and Higgsfield will combine to go out and do the entire process for you. It will handle all the research, all the script writing and storyboarding, and then creating all your assets and building a video for you. What would have costed thousands of dollars in the past can now cost a fraction of that price. In this video, I'm going to show you my entire workflow for this, from the original prompt to the finished video result. So let's get into it. First is the setup. Now, there are just a couple of manual steps we need to do, but it's super easy. One thing we need to do is connect Higgsfield and Claude together with the MCP. This will allow Claude to talk to Higgsfield and create the assets it needs. From images to video, everything Higgsfield can create will funnel into Claude so it can build out our animation. And the second thing we need to do is install a skill into Claude. The skill will control the end result, and it will make sure that what we produce has a consistent tone throughout. So whether you do this 1 or 10 times, you'll always get a very similar style. Let's first create that connection between Claude and Higgsfield using the MCP server. So head over to Higgsfield AI, and then in the top menu, click on MCP. Here you'll see a Higgsfield connector URL, and you simply copy that. Then go over to Claude. In Claude, go down to Settings, and then Connectors. Then click on Add Custom Connector. This is where you paste in the URL from Higgsfield, and then give it a name. Let's call it Higgsfield. Then click on Add. Make sure that it is connected, and if it is, you can close this. And now for that second part, we need to install the skill into Claude. So again, in Claude, head down to your settings again. In the left-hand panel, go all the way down to Skills, and then click on Add and upload a skill. It will ask you to drag and drop in a file, so go to your files, drag the one in. If you're wondering where this skill is, just check the links in the description. You'll see links to both Higgsfield, so you can create an account, and also the Vox Motion Graphics skill. And that's it, we're all set up. Literally took like 5 minutes. And now we head into the fun stuff. Let's actually make our animation. Back on Claude, head over to the Code tab. And then we're going to type in my prompt, which is, I want a 60-second explainer video, something in the 3D printing niche that people are curious about right now. And then hit enter. Let's just pause there for a moment and realize what I've done. All I said was to create a 60-second video on a 3D printing niche, but to go out and find what's popular right now. I didn't give it a script, a storyboard, or anything like that. It's going to go out and do all that work for me. And the other thing is, as this builds out, it's going to converse with me back and forth. So you need to keep an eye on it, and it is going to prompt you once in a while what you want to do. So it might ask you in this case, can I use this? And you can say, okay. And it's just going to access different things to build out what it needs to do. As you can see, it's actually going out and doing the research for me right now and having a look at what is popular in the 3D printing niche. And this is where it's going to start asking me questions back and forth. Which angle should the 60-second explainer take? All three ride the same live. Is AI actually printable wave? And it's asking, should we do a printable reality check? Should we focus on the fix or the how-to, or the tool spotlight? I think how-tos are always helpful, so let's say how-to. And then it will just continue along. And it will ask you questions occasionally as it does more research, and it's always going to check with you before it decides on something. So your input is valuable in this process here. And again, if anything comes up where it's asking, can I use the Vox prompt? Then we can say, okay. If you just want to automate this and you're not too worried about any safety factors, we can just say auto, and this will allow us to enable auto mode, and it's just going to hit all the OKs for us, but it will still ask us the questions where we need to make a decision. So let's continue this, let it carry out and do its research. I'll answer the questions as I go, and then we'll fast forward to when it's actually starting to produce some content. Check out what it's doing in real time as it's building this out. So we can see it's done all the scripting from our original prompting, and it's now building out all the animations, building out the voice work, and it's doing this all by itself. I haven't had to accept anything from those original questions. So it's going to continue out. It should be ready pretty soon. So let's jump ahead and then I'll show you the finished result. Okay, it's done, but let's just pause for a moment and realize what's happened. It's gone out and done all the research. It's then chosen what it thinks is the best results, given us options to go forward on, which we selected, and it then built out the whole process, the script writing, the storyboarding, and the asset generation. And it did this with consistent results. Once it had all those parts, it assembled it into a final video, which is now ready for us to use. So let's see the final result and judge what we see. AI can turn any photo into a 3D model in seconds. Then you print it and it falls apart. The problem isn't the shape. That part's perfect. It's what's hiding inside. Walls thinner than paper and gaps you'll never see. AI meshes are built to look good, not to be solid. Edges don't connect, so your slicer simply gives up. Zoom in and you'll find floating shells and walls too thin to hold. Nothing for the printer to grip. Here's the fix, and it's quick. Remesh the whole model into one clean, solid surface. Thicken every thin wall, then run a final manifold repair. 2 minutes later, the same model that failed slides off the bed in one solid piece. Printable every single time. What do you think? Pretty impressive, right? I mean, as a 3D printer enthusiast myself, it makes sense to me, and I'm sure it's going to make sense to other people as well. It's not completely perfect in some of its wording, but I'd say it's like 95% of the way there. And I think if I was to post this on my social media channels, it would probably get a ton of views. So just think about what else you could use this for. Are you running a business and you need to explain something to a customer or an audience? This would be perfect for that. Instead of spending thousands of dollars on a production team and weeks to get something actually back that you can use for your ads or for your audience, you can literally do this in what took me less than an hour. And now you have the freedom and time given back to you so that you can create even more of these. You could batch produce a whole lot of them and use them for the whole month of content. Let me know in the comments what you think about the result and how you would use this in your case. What sort of animation videos would you produce? So let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget, if you're interested in this and you want to try it out for yourself, then check out the links in the description. There's a link to the skill that you need to download and also a link to Higgsfield so that you can jump on and create an account. If you want more of my content in your YouTube feed, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you're watching on mobile, go down to the comments and just swipe and you should see that little hype button. Just click on that. I think it helps in some way. So let's try and hype this video up and see how much it helps. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something and found value in this video. Thanks for watching.